Work.
It's a special what's happening to all my soldiers over there in Iraq. Everybody right here. What you need to do is be thankful for the life.
They set pressure. Mayfield evades. In trouble. Stiff arm. Throws. Oh, it's caught! How did he do it in the first down? Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh my goodness! This town is going crazy! Protected, another completion, another short one, and bouncing off the tackle is Montgomery. What a catch and run! Still going! We did it again!
Welcome everyone to What's the Play. I am Corey, joined as always by Lucas. As you might have noticed, I tried to put a badass intro.
Surprise me.
Yeah, big surprise. I told Lucas that I had a surprise for him this show. So that was a surprise. I fucked around on Instagram. I'm going to crack myself a cold beer for my somewhat success there. Kind of proud of that. I'm still didn't really work exactly like I thought. It was a little smaller on the screen than I wanted to, but you know, I gotta try and maybe fuck around on my computer instead of. I did that on Instagram. I'm not like savvy with video editing and shit, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Got me excited for football.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. You know how fucking hard it was to like find. I pretty much just like kept Googling, best plays of 2024 or whatever.
Yeah, some cool clips.
Yeah, I had the ones that in my mind were like that David Montgomery one. I remember watching that live. I thought that was so sick. I actually had one from Lamar, but the length of the intro was getting a little long, so I ended up cutting him out. But it was like one where he fumbled the ball and then like picked it up, fucked around, ran around, and then like threw across his body for a touchdown. Yeah. I think it was against the Bengals. What was that, like 2 weeks ago or something? So sorry, Lamar, you didn't make the cut. But anyways.
Garrett Wilson. You got Rashad White from last week.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield throw.
Yeah, that Baker Mayfield, that dude's such a dog, so I had to throw him in there. So couldn't. And then obviously the Hail Mary. I mean, we're not leaving that fucker out. I think that's the only one this year. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to edit that a little better. Like I said, I did it on Instagram, and then when I tried to download it off Instagram, it won't let you keep the audio, which is freaking stupid. So then I was trying to like screen record it on my phone, and then turned out to be a little bit of a disaster. But we'll figure it out. Hopefully, everyone liked that new intro. So
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's better than the 30-second timer countdown shit. So, welcome to week 12 or week 11, excuse me, of NFL and week 12 of college. Lucas, how are you tonight?
Doing a lot better now. That intro got me ready to talk football. It's already week 11 in the NFL. Season's already halfway over, regular season.
Yeah, it's tending to fly by here. Really quickly, it seems like. So, there ain't a whole lot left of college, and obviously we're like maybe halfway through NFL or something, or a little over 16 weeks, 17 weeks. I don't even remember now, but yeah, it should be. I think that's a pretty good NFL slate. As we kind of touched on Tuesday, it was a bit of a dog shit slate for college, so it was honestly really kind of a battle to find some plays in here. But we'll move. We'll find the plays. There you go.
My gambling hoodie, my gambling hat.
That's right. We are not presented by Props.cash. So if you're watching, go ahead, give us a.
But of course, we fully endorse Props.cash.
We definitely do.
Major
We definitely do. Great app. Both on your phone or desktop, which is great to use. We show it on the show here. So we are not presented by FanDuel, but easiest to show lines for us there. So we'll get right into it. Obviously, there's a couple games tonight that I already kind of got a play out for. I tweeted that out earlier today. And let's just touch on that one first, since they do start here pretty soon. So the play I put out was I went ahead and went with Colorado State money line, UCLA plus 14.5, and I went the under 28.5 team total points for Arizona. That came out to 127 on FanDuel. Don't think you can really play that on some other books because they just don't have the higher team total numbers. You could probably do like Bet365, stuff like that. Kind of some reasoning behind that one. It wasn't really too much on that, but I did write some stuff down here, mostly for the Utah leg. So obviously, really Willie Fritz, who's the coach of Houston's, he's won 3 of the last 4. Meanwhile, Arizona's dropped 5 in a row. In those games, Arizona scored 22, 19, 7, 26, and 12. So their offense, even though, they got Fafita and McMillan, and it really came into this season, you were talking supposedly going to be one of the best offenses in the Big 12, has actually been dog shit. They've really struggled. And kind of when I was looking at this game, first time head coach in Arizona, and is there going to be any quit factor? I kind of think there is. Meanwhile, Willie is he's kind of a culture guy. He reminds me a lot of Matt Campbell there. So, and if you look on their side, how many points have they allowed in the last 5 games? You're looking at 19, 14, an outlier 42, 19, and 20. So there was a couple things I thought about that. I thought about maybe the under in that game would look good too, but I just think that Houston's defense, they've really kind of surged here the last 4 to 5 weeks, and I really like them. If you think they're going to win, which the spread kind of dictates that they might, they're not going to allow Arizona, in my opinion, to score too much. Colorado State was just obviously a bit of a juicer. Wyoming is horrid. They're like 2-7, and Colorado State's 6-3. I kind of went really back and forth on that UCLA leg. But the thing I ended up writing down here was that 88% of the bets are on Washington. UCLA has won 3 straight. During that time, this is the key of why I really picked this game here, or UCLA with the cover, was because during those 3 wins, they've rushed 95 yards against Rutgers. Then they played Nebraska, rushed 139 for 4.6 yards per carry. And their last game was against Iowa, where they rushed for a massive 211, which comes out to 5.4 yards a carry. And if you look at Washington, their rush defense is it's bad. They're allowing 5.5 yards per carry on the last 4 games. So really, if UCLA wants to hang tough in this game, I think they're going to try and run the ball, which really bodes well for them keeping it lower score and definitely sticking in that 14.5. I don't think you have anything. I saw you tweet out any action for Friday, did you?
Same thing you got. I like UCLA too.
Yep.
Although Washington's on a 20-game home winning streak, that's possibly in jeopardy tonight.
Yep. I don't really think UCLA wins, to be honest, but I think they'll keep it within the 14 for sure. Yeah. It's kind of it's not really a rule, I guess I have, but I just generally don't like teasing college favorites all that well for like an actual play, because especially where this plays it's almost 50-50 to me. I mean, obviously the spread tells you it's not, but I don't know. I've watched UCLA 3 times, and I've watched Washington 2 or 3 times, and I never came away impressed by either team. So it was kind of a, which one do you really want to pick? I do think Washington wins that game, like you said, with that home win streak on the line. I just don't think they blow anyone out.
Yeah.
So should be a couple good. Well, I don't know about good. This may be relative, watchable. I suppose. Yeah, watchable. Is a better use of the word there. So I know we touched on some games of interest on Tuesday. And I still kind of had some trouble putting some of these together. And really the only game that I've got officially marked down on my list here is in this early window where I took Utah plus 17.5, and then I paired it with Arkansas 19.5. Generally, you may think, wow, that is a massive, 2 massive spreads to be taken. Why don't you just take the favorites there? There's there is some reasoning behind this, especially the Texas Arkansas. So let me just tell you about that. So really, if you think about Texas, do you know their schedule? Who's their best win, you think, on their schedule?
So I know this. I know it's not the best schedule right now, and some people complain about it.
Yeah.
A 1-loss Indiana could be out of the playoffs.
Yeah. So here's their wins. Oklahoma, bad team. That early season game against Michigan, who we thought was going to be
Michigan, but that's not the best win ever.
Yeah, they're a horrible team.
No, that's what I was going to say, but that can't be their best win.
Last week, Florida, bad team. Bad's maybe a bit relative. I wouldn't call them as bad as Oklahoma or Michigan, but they're not good. I think they're 4-5 or something. The best team that they've played all year, Georgia, fucking boat raced them by 2 touchdowns. Their best win is against Vanderbilt this year. The other teams they played, they're not even worth mentioning. They're like FCS teams. So I'm not saying that Texas is bad, because I don't believe that. Obviously, the eye test tells you they're pretty good. My point is that they have not been tested. And a couple things about Arkansas. We already know they've had a very, very tough schedule. So they've had a tougher road, and they've walked away with some of those wins. They get 2 to 3 big guys, big name guys who are coming off injury I saw this year, which kind of really made me pull the trigger for sure on this. And the other thing was you saw the line. If Texas is supposed to just rail Arkansas, why is the line only 12.5? It opened at 16.5, and it's moved down. Arkansas coming off a bye. Sam Pittman, which is Arkansas's coach, this was an interesting fact I ended up finding. As an underdog, is 22-10 against the spread. When he's a double-digit dog, he's 10-3. That's really good. So everything seems to be lining up. Obviously, all the money, all the bets, Earth is on Texas here in that spread, except money line. But if you look at the percent of the money versus the percent of the bets, sharp action all over Arkansas, obviously shown by that reverse line movement. And the one thing I found interesting is a quote. You and I talk about narratives quite a bit. It doesn't really play as much in college, but I do think it's worth noting. So back in July, during the SEC Media Day stuff, Sark said they, as in Arkansas, they hate Texas more than they love Arkansas. And Pittman later agreed with that statement, and he said that essentially they got that game circled on their schedule, and that it's going to be the most excited their fans will be all year. That place is going to be absolutely lit as lit can be. I don't think Arkansas wins, but I bet they only lose by 3 points maybe. I just don't see them getting, raced off the field by a Texas team at all. So, especially when it's going to be Texas's real first battle. The other game here that I do have a little routine interest, if you will, is that Utah-Colorado game. Obviously, Colorado's got control of its own fate here. If it wins out, it's going to be in the Big 12 championship. If they take one loss, though, they're pretty much done. Utah just off a brutal loss last week. This leg here could really go either way. If the team quits on Whittingham, they're going to get smoked. But I don't think that's the case. I think Whittingham, he's very much a culture guy. That's the type of guys he brings in. So I think regardless of their, record right now, he's going to want to go in and beat Colorado. Can they do it? I don't know. They've still got they're on their fourth string quarterback now, who's looked good. Well, he's looked all right, but same sort of situation as Arkansas, where 88% of the bets, or sorry, that was the wrong line. 77% of the bets or money is on Utah in the spread here, but that only makes up 25% of the bets. So again, same sort of thing, sharp action all over Utah here. I really was kind of torn on this particular leg. I almost went the under here because if Utah is going to win this game or keep it close, which their defense is still, I think, top 3 in the Big 12, they're going to keep this game close. And to do that means it's going to have to be lower scoring. They're not keep Shador or let him have all day to throw. So that's kind of the reasoning on that. Obviously, as I think we've talked about before, if you like a dog to win or keep a game close, the under is obviously the play. So played those two legs, as I said, on FanDuel. What was the odds on that one? Oh, plus 110. So that's really the only kind of play I've locked up so far. The other things that I've circled and I am trying to, I guess, get a better grip on was I know I'm going to take Michigan State in some capacity. I just don't think Illinois is great. Aiden Childs is coming off Michigan State is coming off a bye. So that really bodes well. Aiden Childs was kind of banged up, Michigan State's quarterback. And if Illinois is really that good, this line wouldn't be 2.5. I haven't looked at the money on this particular that particular game. We can do that. While I do that, is there any games that you really kind of are looking forward to watching, perhaps?
Virginia Tech's on a bye week. I'm going to enjoy that. Virginia goes to Notre Dame. I'll probably play that minus 22.5 if I could, but it's a good thing I can't bet on my Virginia schools. I'm going to enjoy this bye week. No hookies this week.
Yeah, I know. Wow. So that's crazy. So the Michigan State, they're making up 84% of the money. That's pretty big. It's almost borderline public, to be honest, but I actually heard that more states are going to move to this rule, that you can't bet on your in-state teams.
Yeah.
It's not a bad rule, I guess. I don't mind it.
Yeah, a lot of states do have it.
Yeah. I think more states have it than don't, to be honest.
That might be.
I don't know what to think about this Nebraska. I did a lot of digging, and for every so my lean is Nebraska. But for every stat that I find that tells me I should bet Nebraska, I find another stat or something that tells me I should bet USC. So it kind of really tells me maybe just stay away from that one. The really other game that I like to maybe pair here is it's BYU. They should have lost that game against Utah. They've just skated by. I mean, they're Icarus right now. And for those who don't understand that reference, Icarus is like in Greek mythology, the guy who flew too close to the sun and burned up. And that is 100% what BYU has done this entire season. They've flown too close to the sun, and yet they haven't got burnt. As an Iowa State fan, I already know what Kansas just did to me in my team last week. The thing is, what type of Jaden Daniels is going to show up tomorrow? Is it the Jaden Daniels who turns the ball over like crazy, or is it the Jaden Daniels of last week who fucking looked elite and, staying in the pocket, making good passes, running the ball when needed? BYU has lived off turnovers. I just think they've got to get bit by that more, sooner rather than later. So it'll probably be Michigan State, BYU in some capacity. I just didn't find a lot of value in this college slate, to be honest. So I didn't really want to push a whole lot. I know we did kind of circle this Tennessee-Georgia game because it's going to be maybe the best game available to watch in terms of a ranked matchup for sure. There's a boost. What's your initial thoughts on that game?
I'm not sure if Nico's going to play or not. Nico Iamalayava. Tough one. I like me to pronounce that one. I was going to search that if he's going to play or not. He's questionable.
Yeah.
It's obviously. Oh, he cleared concussion protocol, so he's going to play tomorrow. As of 1 minute ago. So right on time.
So, yeah, anyone who bet
Nico Iamalayava.
What a name. He hasn't looked great.
Stats aren't that great, but I like what I've seen.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. I enjoy watching Tennessee.
Should be, I don't know.
Much rather have him than Carson Beck, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, so that's the one thing, right? If you like Tennessee, you're loving Tennessee because Carson Beck has looked awful this year.
Yeah.
Can't stop turning the ball over, and but you can't really say a whole lot of good things, to be honest, about Tennessee on the other end. That they've had a lot of games here this year that they kind of dropped, or not a lot, I guess that was a bit much, but their offense has just really been stagnant compared to what everyone thought it was going to be, including myself. So, do they finally get clicking? I don't know. Georgia's defense hasn't, everyone thinks when you talk about Georgia, you're like, oh, it's, great team. But, their defense has allowed a lot of points this year compared to, last 2 or 3 years. So the only loss Tennessee, excuse me, the only loss that Tennessee has is against an Arkansas team that was at Arkansas in 1914. But, they looked a little bit better last week when they ended up beating Mississippi State. If anything, I think the play on this game is maybe the over. But probably what I'll end up doing is I think I'll try and find a spot live. Maybe Georgia goes down, scores early or something, and then you can grab that at, maybe 15, 16 and a half or something like that. I know there's a boost for it. So that's kind of my game plan, is just to take that game live.
Either way, probably. Whoever
Yeah.
scores first, just take the other side, probably get a good number.
Yeah. The other one that I guess maybe my last one, which is I don't know what to do with it yet, but there was some interesting stuff, was the Oregon State Air Force game. Oregon State seems like they're kind of quitting. They're kind of realizing they don't have a lot to fight for right now. They're not in a conference. They're not going to make the college football playoff. So I just don't know if they're going to have any motivation this week to actually, I guess, do anything. I think they even lost. I think they're 4-5. So they're on a 4-game losing streak. They lost to San Jose State last week, which is horrid team. So I just think that Arizona, the Air Force Service Academy, they're going to keep it. They're not like an Army where they're actually looks like they have an offense. This is easily the worst of the three, but I think the wrong team is favored here, in my opinion. you got the elevation that's going to play a factor there, in my opinion. So there's a couple ways you could kind of go. The under would be a good play there, in my opinion too. So I don't know. I guess I'll finish the college slate. I think I originally said I liked LSU, but I think I've kind of come back off that, and I think I like Florida in this spot. Just because the fact that they've lost a bunch of games in a row, not in a row here, but that they've lost a bunch of games this season, but they've been, in the majority of those games all year. Obviously they had Georgia on the ropes, and then they kind of like let that one slide away late. And then I think the score didn't really accurately portray that game. They got blown out by Texas, but Texas was coming off a bye. They did beat Kentucky, bit of a meh, whatever. They lost to Tennessee, 23-17. That was at Tennessee, so that's a tougher game. But they lost essentially by by a touchdown. They could have won the game with a touchdown, and then the week before that they beat UCF, which isn't great, but they're a pretty hard running team. So kind of that in-state rivalry thing going on there. I think the play's out at Florida here, in my opinion. What about you?
I haven't watched enough of either team to have a good say either way.
Yeah. It's hard when there's so many games going on. There's so many teams to really kind of lock in to one particular team or a conference. So you almost have to try and go, like if you got ESPN app, you can watch a lot of these games again, different times. So I try to do that sometimes, but yeah, it can be difficult.
Try to lock in on the MAC.
Yeah.
That's my favorite conference to bet on.
You again won last night on the MAC.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Sorry, you didn't play not Thursday. You didn't play anything Thursday. You played Wednesday. Yeah,
Tuesday and Wednesday. I haven't lost a MAC play all year. I didn't lose a MAC play last season either. I don't think.
Just red hot with the MAC. Red hot.
Conference. It really is.
Yeah, you know what?
Close weather games. You get these 3-star kids that are fighting for a bowl game.
Yeah, this is it
half
for them.
Stadiums, sometimes a lot more than half-empty stadiums.
Yeah.
It's my kind of football. It's gritty.
I don't particularly care for the half-empty stadiums. I wish they were a bit fuller, but whatever.
Then you add the rain and the wind, and you got some fun football for me.
Yeah, it seems like the weather's always shit for those
The
games.
weather's always shitty.
It's always shitty.
We had 6 games last week. It was raining for 3 of them, I think. 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, terrible weather.
I love it. Makes for great football, I think.
So, no MAC. Well, yeah, I don't think. I mean, there probably is some MAC games, but
not this Saturday. But
yeah. So we'll
next Tuesday we can talk about the MAC.
We probably should actually.
Well, I think those are like 7:00 games. We got to be on a little bit earlier, probably. But
yeah.
I was taking a look at those MAC lines because there's actually some pretty good football games next week in the MAC.
Yeah.
2 really good games: Northern Illinois, Miami, and then Ohio and Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be some outstanding games.
So we'll move on from college.
We'll move on from that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that Tuesday.
Like I said, it's just not a great slate for college picks. I'm normally I try to have 4 or 5 plays. I'm kind of struggling to get 3 for Saturday. So I'll tweet out whatever I end up playing between that Michigan State game and the rest of them. So I don't really want to spend too much time since I haven't quite nailed down exactly what I want to do. So we'll get into NFL here as our main talking point. I know we already both you and I had really great Thursdays come away in the green, so can't complain there.
Man, I thought that parlay was the one. Just needed Devontae to score. Oh, and he was butt naked open in the end zone.
He was too.
In that time. Oh my goodness.
Good.
Him and Saquon were both in there. Of course, Saquon scored twice, but man, if you needed Devontae to score last night, that was pretty brutal.
Heartbreaking. Yeah, I used one of my bonus bets for Saquon to score, and I actually thought it was cooked. And until all of a sudden he rips off
two. He took over those last 5 minutes.
Yeah, he rips off 2 at the end, and I was like, oh shit, that just cashed me. So I definitely was pretty happy about that.
But overall, it was a good Thursday night football game.
Yeah.
Hit 2 straights at the builder. Couldn't get the 2 parlays.
Yeah, what was I forgot, what was your builder play on that last night?
I had receptions with Ertz and Devontae.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ertz had 6 receptions. He had 4 that last drive.
Yeah, which actually saved my play here because I had Zach Ertz. Yeah, I had Zach Ertz for 25 yards, and I think he had 9 or something like that. So
he was at like 23 or something for that last drive, wasn't he?
Was he?
Well, he had 4 receptions that last drive because I had 2. Well, he had 2 at that point. I needed 3, and he got 4 in a row. Scored that touchdown.
Yeah.
So if you needed Zach Ertz to score a touchdown, that's a legacy cash right there.
I actually surprised you didn't play him. I know you talked about Tuesday that there wasn't really a revenge factor there, but he definitely scored a meaningless touchdown, which actually screwed one of your live bets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
28 seconds, absolute trash. So,
but he catched the builder, so
right. Yeah. You win some, you lose some. So we'll get in here. Get into the 11 o'clock window here. Jacksonville headed to Detroit. Detroit's favored by 13.5. I know you and I texted a little bit about this game. So what's your early thoughts on this one?
Well, I got the Lions money line earlier in the week, like minus 700 or something. Put that in a money line parlay. The Lions are not going to lose to the Jaguars. I can very confidently say that.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we both like some unders in this game. I know I originally said St. Brown, but I think that's a live spot because it seems like Sam Laporte is not going to play. So I feel like same as the Titans game from, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? We had some live snipes in that game.
Yep.
Very similar mindset. If you can get Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs under either. I know I played St. Brown under. I think you played Montgomery under.
Yeah, that one became ridiculously sweaty for no reason. Or no. I played Gibbs under, which was when it made it sweaty because he ripped off a big run and his line jumped up like to over 100 and something, and I played him under.
The same thing might happen this week.
Yes. But really that tells me I need to learn from last time, and it's not playing Gibbs under, it's playing Montgomery under.
Well, St. Brown is really good ahead.
Yeah. Obviously, Montgomery takes more of a beating throughout the year here as he's kind of the primary back and run between the tackles type guy so he just takes more hits doing that style of running. So, and he doesn't shy away from contact. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be, in my opinion, it's Montgomery under over Gibbs. But, yeah, St. Brown, I wouldn't be surprised if they really tried to get him going in that first quarter or something like that, and then maybe back down if they take a big lead.
So definitely some live spots.
Yeah. This is a game I really wouldn't be trying to get in here. And, generally you could always count on like Gibbs and Montgomery for like 40-40. I don't even think if you're doing that, I think that's a risky move this particular game. So I almost wouldn't be surprised to see them try and play like rotate in their third back guy a bit more earlier on, even if the game's a little tighter early, because there's just no real reason to, risk one of your main guys getting hurt. You've already seen what can happen when you're blowing someone out and playing a primary player, aka Hutchinson. So
You know who has a revenge game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Allen Robinson.
I don't know about that.
Plus 1,500 to score. If they really get ahead, he might have a chance.
He's 1,500.
Yeah, plus 1,500. Because that's what the Lions like to do. When they get ahead like that, when they're up by 28 points, they just start fucking around.
Yeah. Well,
plays and shit.
Trying to get fucking linemen.
When Montgomery threw the touchdown to Laporta.
Yes.
Just fucking around. All those trick plays they're doing against the Cowboys.
I'm not sure if they'll be so disrespectful to the Jaguars as they were the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be disrespectful. They were just fucking around with the Cowboys.
They fucking hate the Cowboys, so.
Doing all those trick plays.
Excuse me. Yeah. What they were doing to the Cowboys was just next level disrespect, so. Actually,
St. Brown scored a touchdown. They're already up like 38 points.
Yeah, they did not give a fuck. They absolutely hated them.
Yeah, we can move on to probably a closer game. Well, maybe not a closer game if we're talking about Green Bay, but
right. Who obviously you got the Lions there, which I do too.
So Green Bay is my second team in that money line parlay.
Love Green Bay this week, actually.
Also got Josh Jacobs rushing yards. Not sure what the number is at now. I got 65.5. I think it was mid-70s earlier. Yeah, 72.5. So I got some CLV on Josh Jacobs.
Take a look. 72. So.
Yeah, a lot going on with the Chicago Bears right now.
You know, my only concern with the Bears is the Packers is that Love has just been a turnover machine too. He's really struggled here. And if you're gonna turn the ball over a lot, giving extra possessions to Caleb Williams, who, I mean, I'm not saying I think he's great by any means. I've literally said I thought he was dog shit multiple times. So I don't know. It's just something to think about. I still think the Packers are way better than the Bears. Just would make me slightly nervous that picking them and taking the spread for sure. I wouldn't do that. But I still think they win. I don't think there's anything else I really thought about.
It's another reason to go with Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. I mean, if they can just
off for the last few weeks.
Yeah. If they can just run the ball and get away with it, I think they'll be more than happy doing that. So an interesting game here. The Rams heading to the Patriots. You got anything in this game?
Nothing in that game. Yeah, 43.5. That might be way too high.
I actually like the Patriots to win this game. I don't know. Drake May looked better last week. Does he actually get going? I don't know if we go to props here. I haven't looked at anything in regards to Stevenson's rushing yards. Usually he'd been kind of a force on the ground, but it's 74 last week. They're actually decent on against the run, so I don't know. Seems like you'd be trying to push something if you were trying to find something. I don't know. Probably just a gross game to skip and not waste any of your money betting. Who do you got in that game?
Rams.
You like the Rams. All right.
Yeah, I think Kyron has a good game.
Browns
for a builder, like 60 plus or 70 plus.
Yeah. About the Browns and the Saints, I believe. Well, I know you did have a play here.
I put in a builder for this game.
Yeah.
A few guys I like in this game, but I took Jameis 200 plus, and then Nick Chubb 40 plus. Paired that with an alt under to get even money. Got a little bit of a revenge factor. I'm not sure if it's necessarily a revenge game. I don't think there's hard feelings like Zach Ertz last night, but Jameis Winston coming back to New Orleans. And of course, the Saints. I've talked about how bad the Saints' run defense is. Nick Chubb's lines. You would think it would be a little bit high, but makes me think we get like a vintage Chubb game. Break a couple long ones. Like it's gotten up to 60.5 now. So it just makes me think that Nick Chubb, we see that 55-yard run.
Yeah.
Breaks a couple tackles. So I like both those guys. I paired them down to a builder.
Yeah. Did you play Chubb at 40, you said?
40 plus.
40 plus, yeah. I mean, honestly, you could take 50.
Plus.
Honestly,
I wanted to bet Jameis straight, but his line got a little bit higher than I wanted when it dropped.
Yeah. Why didn't you? Was 225 just too high for you?
Well, I just liked it with the Chubb 40 plus, 200 plus, and 40 plus.
Yeah. 225 wouldn't be too bad. Maybe I'll use your way and like put him at 210 or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think he gets the yards, but I think that Nick Chubb definitely has a vintage game. I don't know about definitely because he might not get 20 carries, but if he gets his line's like 15.5, if he gets 16 carries for sure, I feel like he breaks one.
Yeah, 15.5 is actually juiced to the under. Interesting.
I think the most he's had is 14, but he's only been back for 2 games. But Saints run defense might be the worst in the league right now. It's pretty awful. Talking about shitty run defenses.
Yeah, they're not good. They're trying to look up.
Saints won last week. I feel like they kind of come back down to earth. Browns are off a bye week, so do or die for the Browns right now.
Are they still able to maybe make the playoffs?
Probably not. Let's see. I mean, almost definitely not, but they're 2-7, but they still got plenty of divisional games yet. The Browns do. So it's technically not impossible, but you got to win this week. I don't think it's going to happen. I like the Browns to win this Sunday, though.
Right.
All game picks.
Seems like if you could find Nick Chubb at 14.5 carries.
Yeah, it was at one point. I think it might be elsewhere.
I wonder if you can see if we can find it anywhere.
It's also the Jameis revenge game. Not really a revenge game, but return to New Orleans. So he's going to pretend like it doesn't mean anything to him, but I think it definitely does.
I'd have a hard time, but that guy, out of anyone, I have a hard time believing it doesn't matter to him. So the only way you can find 14.5 is Caesars at minus 158 or Bet365 at minus 150. So, yeah. But if you're willing to take the 15.5, the best line is, well, there's like one weird obscure book that has a decent odds, but FanDuel essentially at plus 102. So if you think he gets utilized a lot, there's your odds there. But I mean, hell, he may soar that line. I don't know, but
I think he could.
Yeah.
Just got off the bye week.
Yeah. Being fresh. Who do you obviously both like the Browns there, right?
Browns.
Yeah. All right, we move to the Vikings and Titans. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so I made a chalky money line parlay. The Lions, not the Colts, the Packers, and the Texans. I could have had the Vikings. That spread was just a little weird to me. Of course, the Vikings did not look very good last week, and the Titans are starting Will Levis, so they're a bottom 3 team with definitely a weird spread. I feel like that entire game is just a stay away spot. Let's forget Cam Akers again at a lower number.
Yeah, I looked into this.
5.5.
I looked into this game. I just don't. There just wasn't anything that was really screaming at me.
Still no Cam Akers anywhere, so
yeah.
I'll look for Cam Akers tomorrow. But that'd be the only play. Like even Jefferson, I'm not sure about Jefferson. Last week, Hawkinson really ate into his workload. I mean, he got picked off 3 times looking for Jefferson, but Hawkinson definitely changes that offense for the better. Maybe not for the better with how bad they were in the red zone last week, but getting Hawkinson back
It should help. Yeah, I don't know. There's just not.
Vikings have to win that game. Like, it's just such a weird spread. It almost makes you think that Tennessee could do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kicked this game around so much because I thought the spread was strange. Like,
Yeah.
why isn't the Vikings -7.5 or something like that? I don't know. I couldn't really come up with a good reasoning other than, the books are trying to tell. I mean, we talk about it all the time. If the spread stinks to high heavens, they're probably trying to fucking tell you something. And if we come to pick it here and see what the money is, so obviously 94% of the money is on the Vikings to win. Because you're talking about a 7-2 team versus a 2-7 team. Even the spread is not. There's no real sharp action on Tennessee. They make up 25% of the bets and 30% of the money on the spread. So I don't know. That's strange to me. I wouldn't bet this game with even your money. So
checking on Cam Akers. It's a prop I'm probably not going to get till tomorrow, but
yeah,
he looked good last week. Aaron Jones got banged up. I think Aaron Jones is still going to be playing. Looked pretty bad. He got carted off, but
yeah,
apparently he's going to be playing.
He was in there when I clicked in there. He was there was lines for him.
Yeah, I see Aaron Jones lines, but
yeah,
Cam Akers.
Yeah, that's just a stay away spot for me. I think the Vikings win. They have to. But maybe it's a lot closer. Obviously, the 39.5 kind of tells you it
Yeah,
should
maybe they win by 3 points.
Yeah. So
23-20.
Oh, gross. So Colts, Jets. I actually think this game has good potential for props, in my opinion.
Depends what team you're talking about. I like the Colts props. Got Richardson for 25 plus rushing and Jonathan Taylor 60 plus.
Yes, John. I mean, there's a lot to like about the Colts here. I actually don't understand this spread. I know last week you bet the Jets, and I was like, no fucking way. It's Cardinals. The Jets have yet to prove to me that they can win a game. And I don't know. That team just looks like it's quitting, in my opinion. Rodgers, I mean, is he gonna hang him up? He said he's not gonna hang him up, but he may hang it up this season, like kind of mentally, because the season's kind of over, right? A play that I really liked and that I played myself is I played Braylon Allen over his rush yards. If the team, it's I will admit it's slightly risky because we just don't know truly if that team is kind of like checked out or not. If they have, like I feel that they have, then something like this is really gonna kind of. Oh, they don't even have it up on props.cash. That's interesting. Well,
I'm writing that down because I did like Braylon Allen, but might get a better number live.
You might. You definitely could get a better number live. I don't know why he's not on here because I thought he was. I swear he was on my app because I looked this up earlier.
Well, I think they just now added him pretty recently.
Let me. Jets. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong thing for one. Oh, he's on here. He's on my phone. So last week he had 27. He had 9 against Houston and 32 against New Orleans, or not New Orleans, New England, excuse me. But the thing I went and I looked at it was his attempts. So in those 3 games, he had 7 rush attempts, 4 and 12. If they're kind of like going to pack it up and quit, I would expect his carry count to be in that 7 to 8 range, which should tell you every time that he's had at least 7 carries, he's covered that line every time. So he's gone 27, 32, 34, 55, and 33. Probably the move is what you're doing, playing him live, because you could probably get a better spot. But I went ahead and I locked him in now at 22.5. Interesting. He's not on here. That's I don't know why that is. They actually got Flacco lines. That's weird. Okay. Well, that's weird. Whatever. FanDuel was the best line, which was strange. Everyone else had him at 23.5. Is there anything else in this game you like or want to talk about?
I'm going with the Colts to win.
Oh yeah, me too.
I've been talking about the Jets pretty much all season.
Yeah, I kind of figure I gave that away with what my cap here is that the Jets are on fucking tank watch.
Yep. I've been wrong about the Jets all season, so we'll see how that goes.
They're telling you who they are. They're telling you.
I thought they had an outside chance of making the playoffs, but probably not after losing last week.
Nope.
Even though still it's not impossible, but
yeah,
they've shot themselves in the foot way too many times this year.
Their offense, I mean, they need to clean up their offensive line. It's that simple to me. Get someone who can fucking block for Rodgers, and then your team is going to be.
They're too good to be this bad.
Yeah, there's too much talent. Get someone to fucking block for Rodgers, and he will literally pick apart the defense. That he's good. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's 40, and he's not gonna. He just can't do some of the things he used to do, which was scramble out of the pocket, which means you need to protect him more.
So can make every throw, just can't move like he used to.
Correct. He can make every fucking throw under the book. And the thing that I think is maybe why the Jets thought differently or something was because Rodgers used to be able to move around because you may think, well, Brady looked better, right? Well, Brady was never a fucking runner. So when he went to Tampa Bay knew right away, we need to have an offensive line for this guy because he can't run. Like, that's just not his thing. We got to protect him. And I think maybe the Jets thought, oh, we're getting Aaron Rodgers of 5 years ago or something like that, even where, yeah, he'd roll out and then run or, that's just not his game anymore. He's a 40-year-old man, which, good on him for still playing. But I think he's realizing, like, yeah, I got to stay in the pocket more. And he'll tear him apart, but not with 2 seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So.
And 2 great running backs. Those are way too good to be this bad.
They got legitimately the best running back in the league.
And then a stud in Braylon Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously 2 great wide receivers, a couple solid tight ends. It's just so frustrating. I'm glad I'm not a Jets fan.
Yeah, that would be hard to watch, to be honest. Very hard to watch.
Yeah, so I like the Colts to win this week. That's a great teaser spot, too. I might tease them up.
Interesting. I had that written down. I hadn't done anything with it yet, but
Colts teaser. Well, I already have the Colts in a play, but
my two teasers, honestly, so far that I've kind of written down as spots were the Colts and the Titans, because this line 15 or 5.5 just stinks to high heaven. That gets us
to a more entertaining game, most likely.
Yeah.
Well, probably not this game. Raiders and Dolphins.
Yeah. Is there anything in there?
But yeah, the Dolphins. The NFL needs the Dolphins to win this week and next week against New England, because they play on Thanksgiving against Green Bay, and that's probably not the most entertaining game. We're 3-6 right now.
Oh, I didn't even see this. Sorry, Chase. He actually made a comment here. He likes, Drake May rush yards. I actually like that a lot. That's a great look.
I like this passing yards, maybe combined line.
Let's just take a quick.
I do think Drake May could have a very good game.
Let's just take a quick look and go back.
I like the Rams to win, but I do like Drake May.
Let's just go back to. Let's stay on here and look at Chase's comment a little deeper here. So his line to pass is 200, and his rushing
combined line.
Drake May is 30. Let's come over here to props. Drake May 30. And you're going against the LA defense, which is 17th, 128. You'd have to dig a little more here because that's not a tell-all. You'd really kind of want to go back and look to see how they've done against mobile quarterbacks. Specifically, some teams that they've faced in the past. I'm going to write that down, though. Maybe his rushing yards or maybe his combined line is a nice spot. So we'll go. What's his pass? All right, I lost my train of thought. His passing yards. That's what I was going to do. 200. They do give up a ton in the passing, so you actually probably could get some here by going pass plus rush. 239. Yeah. That's a good look, though. I like that. Spot. What was his pass? Maybe they don't have it up. I'm looking in the wrong spot. They don't have it up yet. Drake May 25 would be a good builder, or would be a good spot too. So, all right, let's go back. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So yeah, you said the Dolphins really need to win this week. I 100% agree. They're playing on Thanksgiving.
3-6. It's be a lot of difference if they're 5-6 compared to 4-7.
Yep.
They should definitely win this game.
Yeah. Is there any props that are sticking out to you?
Honestly, Gardner Minshew under passing yards, but that's just forcing it.
Yeah. That's kind of been a go-to spot.
A lot of guys on offense you could bet.
Yeah.
Holmes might have a big game. Kind of like Jonnu Smith if I had to pick one.
Yeah. Try and go for that obscure guy to maybe do something. and Devon might be a spot. I don't know. Seems like I'm trying to force something there, but
yeah, I'm not going to force a play in that game.
Yeah, it's definitely the Dolphins. I think are going to win that game.
Oh, maybe I'll do Colts and Dolphins teaser. Raiders are off the bye week, but
really, my favorite spot.
My
favorite spot to tease is probably going to be the Browns. I think the wrong team's favored. And then obviously we both think the Colts should be favored there. So the last 11 o'clock game would easily the best one. The Ravens and the Steelers.
Yeah, probably the most entertaining game of the day, most likely.
Yep.
Maybe Chiefs and Bills, but I don't have a bet on this game. I just want to watch this game as a fan, I think. Unless we get Keaton Mitchell rushing yards. I haven't seen him posted. That'd be the only look probably for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what am I saying? I have George Pickens. I was thinking the Ravens side, but I have George Pickens receiving yards. I bet that so long ago. I bet that Tuesday. That's when I see it. Yeah, I got George Pickens over receiving yards. What am I talking about? I got 66.5.
One spot that I really like because I heard this stat is I almost like Lamar's under passing yards because one, the reason I like that is for one, I think Pittsburgh's going to win. The one thing there's a stat about home dogs win at like a ridiculous rate in the NFL, and the other thing you would tag that along with is that Tomlinson as an underdog at home was it 20 and
whatever it is that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was some ridiculous thing that he's just unreal as a home underdog, and then you kind of filter that down even more. He's had Baltimore's number. It was either versus Baltimore or Lamar. I think it's Lamar's like 1-4 against the Steelers or something like that. I can't remember. I'm probably butchering that one, so I apologize. But I know that Tomlinson has had Baltimore's number. So Chase actually made another comment here. Played Lamar's under rush yards. Yeah, that's probably a good spot. They're great
last week.
Yep, they're
gone under.
Yeah, they're great. They're going against one of the best defenses in the league here. They're going to keep him in the pocket, and they're going to do the thing that everyone should do, but it's very hard to do, which is go ahead, Lamar, beat us with your arm. We bet you can't. And sorry, Lamar is an elite athlete, but when it comes to doing the thing that a quarterback is supposed to do, which is pass the ball at an excellent rate, he doesn't really kind of stand up there, in my opinion, and the stats kind of back that up. And the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar apologists try to come for me every time, but sorry, that's the hill I will die on. The stats back me up on that fact that he's not an elite quarterback when it comes to passing the ball. My God, look at the playoffs last year. That's exactly what they made Lamar do. Pass the fucking ball, dude. Go ahead, beat us. And he didn't. So, dude's an incredible athlete. There is no one better than him. But when it comes to passing the ball, he does struggle. Now, I will caveat, he has had an excellent year this year. Very, very great. Very great. But someone mentioned to me, he's almost a regular season merchant. And then when it comes to the playoffs and everyone locks in, that's when he really struggles, because they say, okay, well, we're done fucking around and letting you run the ball on us, so pass the ball now. And I don't know, maybe there's some truth to that. I didn't really dig into that. I kind of just took it at face value, or just kind of let it slide off my shoulder, whatever. But yeah, I like Lamar's under passing yards here. His under rushing. Wow, that Chase, nice snipe by you, buddy. Said he got him at 49.5. He's already down to 41, so that's a good spot. That was a great play. CLV, that's there. That is there. 8 yards of it.
I like the Ravens in this game.
You like the Ravens?
I like the Ravens.
Okay.
More. We'll see the playoffs this year.
I've really liked what I've seen from Russ here. I feel like he's very.
Oh yeah, I do too.
He seems like he's kind of locked in, and I don't know. I like the Steelers here. I think the trend continues, and I think they continue to have their number. Obviously, boy, that number was 3.5, and it's come down to 3. So now you get a push. That's a bit of a dagger. If you bet it, I'd buy the half a point. Before we move on, let me just double check. I want to see what the money is telling us on this one. How people are betting it.
Well, I like Lamar to go over passing.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that would make sense. If you like the Ravens to win, then yeah, for sure. That would make a perfect sense. So yeah, obviously 88 the Ravens are taking 81% of the money and 74% of the bets in a money line side. But if you look at the spread, Pittsburgh makes up 62.6% of the bets, and that accounts for 63% of the money. So most people are thinking kind of what the line is telling you, which is Ravens win, Steelers cover. So, all right, we'll move. That'll be a great game to watch. Did I write Steelers down? I did. Okay. Probably one of the better, second best 2:00 game, in my opinion. 49ers, Seahawks. What's your thoughts?
I need the 49ers to win this game. Hopefully they look like the 49ers we've been used to. Christian McCaffrey, first game back at home. I feel like he scores. He's minus 220, but I feel like you got to take it. I think he's going to be my touchdown parlay. Of course, if you
That's
want to
it.
do first team or first half, of course, get better odds. But
First team
the 49ers, they kind of rolled this game. They were
or first
messing
half.
around with Tampa Bay a little bit last week. A divisional game back at home.
I'm 100%. I may bet. I don't know. What do you think the better bet there is? Do you think the first team or first half is the better bet on that one?
This first half. I mean, that'll be the better bet than first team. What's if you get like even money probably? So what's that?
110.
110. Well,
Otherwise, it's 175.
I mean, I like him anytime in my touchdown boost. I think he'll probably be in it.
See if there's a better line. I don't know if
He didn't score last week, but that's all right. I feel like he probably scores twice this week.
San Francisco has had their number.
Yeah. Debo goes off against him every game.
Yeah, freaking quite a bunch.
Last month, Debo went off. Had 105 yards or something crazy. Had that long 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But he does that every game against the Seahawks. If you like those head-to-head matchups on Prop.Cash.
Yep.
Debo against the Seahawks for sure.
There's not. I can't really. I guess you're just gonna have to. I was trying to look.
Debo whisperer like that. I am with his rushing yards. I like his rushing yards.
Debo's rush yards.
I like to live bet his rushing yards.
Oh, live bet it. Sorry,
I did see it at 8.5 somewhere. FanDuel, I think it was 365 or DraftKings, but that was get Debo involved in the running game against Seattle.
I have to double check that, but one guy that stuck out to me was, you mentioned the rush yards. I liked Purdy's rush yards. Doesn't have a great head-to-head. He had 19 last game, and then he went 7. I don't even know what that number is, and then 16. So, don't know. It could be a riskier play. In reality, I like it, but it's one of those plays I'm not going to take. Not going to take it at face value. You can always get him, I think, after the first quarter, and his lines probably dropped to like 10 or something.
Yeah. Live bet spot.
Oh yeah. Chase loves DK TD here too. He's back.
DK's back this week.
Yep. So that's a good spot. I don't know how he's done against San Francisco. I can look at receiving yards, see how he's done. I know he's
on the pass.
Yeah, not super hot. Not super hot, but that's all right. It's still they're gonna have to go to him. Tyler Lockett, I would be my guy actually. Yeah, head to head, he's done really well. Tyler Lockett is a guy I'd look for them to kind of key on. So
I like JSN.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Easier to say JSN, but yeah.
I wonder, Jesus, he's smashed. Oh, that's 2024. Anytime touchdown, head to head. I mean, yeah, he's pretty much gone off there. So, yeah, I think this will be a good game. I think the 49ers they've got to win it. There's no doubt about that. So that's who I got. But my live spot here is Purdy. I'm going to try and take Purdy rush live. I don't know. I'll probably screw around with some something there, but I think I will take Christian to score. I'm gonna be greedy again, and I'll probably do it first half again.
Well, he's gonna score first drive, so
well, yeah.
You can already see it now.
You can get him at 125 first half on DraftKings. To score first and win. Where's the other one? I thought they had first team on. Maybe they don't have that on DraftKings. Oh, here we go. First team TD score. He's 190 there. That's not bad. I don't know. It might be worth playing that too, depending on how greedy I want to get, I guess. All right. Well, let's move on. Falcons, Denver. What's your thoughts? Anything?
Audric estimates at 57.5 rushing yards. They didn't post him last week. He had his best game of the season. Bet him 3 weeks ago, and he got garbage time carry. One garbage time carry he was about to void.
Mm-hmm.
I bet him a couple times, but he finally got that bigger workload last week. It paid off, and it seems like he's got the starting job now. Indicated by these lines, I'm not sure if we haven't seen Javonte Williams or McLaughlin lines yet, but
yeah,
books are saying go ahead and bet estimate this week. I was definitely interested in him, but not at 57.5. Then again, I feel like he probably is a starting running back, but taking a risk there.
It's a bit too high.
Might be a live betting spot. I mean, if he goes off in the first quarter, definitely he's going way over his line.
Yeah.
Like Sean Payton said, we're doing the hot hand, and he had the hot hand at that point. Just kept feeding Estime.
Kept feeding him. Yep.
And Javonte got one carry in the first quarter. I don't think he got any carries the rest of the game. It's all Estime.
Might be
another live betting spot.
I was gonna say it might be a good live bet spot.
Way, just because there's risk there.
First team touchdown. So,
I think I like the Broncos to win.
I love the Broncos to win.
I think about it, I like the Broncos.
Kirk Cousins and outdoors sucks ass. So I like the Broncos here. That's who I would be going with.
I'm not gonna bet it this side, but if I had to pick one, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Broncos.
Head gun to your head type thing.
Gun to my head, I'll say Broncos.
We'll move to the last game in the 2:00 window, which should be the best.
I can't imagine I'm gonna have a play for this game.
You can't?
I'm just gonna watch this game as a fan.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything you like in this game.
Let's just get out of the way. Who wins?
Buffalo.
They do. Is this not the same thing as I said with BYU? Flying too close to the sun? I mean, my God. They should have lost.
Bills money line now to think about it. I really do like the Bills.
They should have fucking lost last week, and they didn't.
Like, I don't think this is a good game for props at all. I think this is a pretty gross props game. But the reason why I think that is because I like the Bills to win here. I think for the same reasons. I think we both are on the same page with Kansas City.
Yeah. I don't know what I would play for props in this game, to be honest.
That's the thing. I wouldn't know where to start with props.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be a tougher. Maybe the only thing I could think of is
Najee P. receiving yards.
Yeah.
But even then, that's kind of forcing it.
Yep. The one guy I keep coming back to who has just not let me down. I haven't looked at his line here. Be a first time. Oh, he's not up.
Got the whole Mahomes is the underdog.
Yeah.
I feel like the Bills win here, maybe pretty easily, by 10 points.
10? Yeah, they've been blowing people out. I think people
they won by 10 points.
Yeah, they. That's who I would.
Chiefs could afford a loss. I feel like they could just kind of maybe give up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. That would be my guy. That they would be my pick easily. I think they. I don't know if they win by 10. I definitely think that
maybe 7's more realistic, but
yeah, because it almost could. I almost could see 3-2 where Mahomes pulls a, fucking drives down the field.
Of course you could. I know how to.
Yeah,
I've watched the Chiefs game before. I realized Bills win by 1 point, or Bills are up by 1 point.
Yep.
Some kind of hold-in, legal hands to the face, automatic first down. I know how this goes.
We've seen this story written far too many times.
Chiefs win by 2 points.
Yep. So,
I mean, yeah, I know how that. If we get that kind of scenario, I know if the game's close late, yeah, Kansas City's going to win it. We know that much.
but here's the thing: it's almost like Brady, right? If like there was 2 minutes left,
Yeah,
or
we
a
know how
minute,
this game ends.
there's like a
I've seen
minute.
this.
If there's anything over a minute 20 left in the game,
Yeah, I know how this game
and
ends.
they have the ball to go score, you might as well turn it off. There's no reason. You know what's going to happen. I mean, my God. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you here. I don't know. I might try and look some more into this. I'm having a hard time finding anything, which is weird. Which is weird because it's supposed to be a good game. So you think that it would just be littered with great props to play. But I think you and I both find great spots more in these shit games that you don't really want to watch.
So.
Yeah. And the reason I think that is because in these games that are supposed to be really, really good, it could be, 5 different guys that go off or something. And you don't really know where these kind of terrible games, you have a better read on how the game flow is going to go. And you can.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
There's definitely more scenarios this game could go than probably Colts and Jets.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Titans and Vikings or whatever.
Yep. So we'll move to the last game of the Sunday night.
So we're on the Bills.
Yep. Did I click the wrong thing here?
I mean, that's another live betting spot. I feel like either way with the spread, you can. I feel like I've noted a couple times, like, you can get the Chiefs at plus money. Again, last week they were plus money. There was only like plus 120. They were plus money for a couple minutes. Same thing against Tampa Bay, but we'll move on to Sunday Night Football.
Last question, if say the Chiefs go up first and the spread swings in the favor of the Bills, would you play that?
Probably.
I'd need 3.5.
I don't know if you would get it, but yeah, maybe.
I'd need 3.5 bare minimum. Bare fucking minimum. Plus 3.5. So yeah, we'll move this Sunday night though. I just thought that would be interesting if the Chiefs went down, scored first. If it'd be a good spot. So
I don't think that's going to happen because of like Buffalo, but
agreed. So Bengals Chargers.
That might be the toughest game of the week to pick a winner. I'm not really sure who wins that game. It's kind of the same thing with the Bengals. We know how these Bengals games end. Joe Burrow's going to throw for 400 yards and they're still going to lose.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no idea who wins this game.
I like the Chargers.
Edwards, though. Rushing yards.
Yeah, I got the Chargers here. I think they're going to try. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to really try and take the air out of this thing, rush the ball, shorten the game up. He did that a lot, obviously, when he was the head coach at Michigan. Jobbins at 12.5. I don't know if that's kind of initially where my mind is going. I don't know if that's.
Oh, got bet down.
Yeah. Might be low enough now that that's a take for me.
Yeah, it was 13.5.
Yeah.
12.5. Well, I bet Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards looked very good last Sunday. I feel like it's more of a split backfield than that line would indicate.
Yeah, the thing is, if you look at his props here, it almost is just screaming to take it at 12.5. Look at that 15, 14, 17, 14, 25.
Yeah, by straight hit rates.
Yeah. So
of course, a lot of those games without Gus Edwards, but
right.
By hit rates,
other than here, right? Tennessee. So
the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah. I might have to. That might be a trigger pull for me right now.
Yeah, 12.5. That's a weird line.
I think I'm probably going to.
So it's 14.5 on DraftKings. Now it's 12.5 on FanDuel.
Seems like a fuck up.
Why is that 2 attempts off? That's significant.
My concern is what you're saying, that Gus Edwards looked good last week, but
I still think he would get 13 carries.
Yeah, I do too.
Even with Gus Edwards, I feel like it's close to 50-50.
I'm actually going to lock that sucker in right now.
Yeah, that's a little strange line. I mean, that tells you to take Gus Edwards with that line. But then they have the lowest Gus Edwards line.
Oops.
I think he's like 32.5 on DraftKings and 365.
He's not even posted up here, is he? Oh, he is. 29.
Not for attempts.
Yeah. Not his attempts, yeah.
Rushing yards.
Yeah, I just locked J.K. Dobbins in. I have a hard time seeing him not getting
unless the Bengals look like the Bengals, like they could be. T. Higgins is back. I mean, if I had to pick a winner, gun to my head, I feel like I'd say Cincinnati. But then either way, I'm definitely not confident. This is the toughest game, I think, to pick a winner. Just because there's a lot of scenarios that this game could go.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways this game could go. Chargers could run the ball all day, which I would kind of figure, but they've been throwing it a little bit more.
If Cincinnati gets out ahead, then, the run script.
Well, they never abandon the run, even when they're down. So
yeah, but they're not going to run it as much.
That's the thing. There's just a lot of scenarios that this game could go with.
Yeah, and I one thing we don't really talk about at all with NFL is the travel aspect.
Yeah,
it's not as prevalent, but there is still some stats that the teams who are traveling 2 time zones tend to struggle a little bit. It's just not as huge as what you see in college.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tough one to call. I'll take the Chargers here at home. So,
I do think it's easier to go from east to west than the other way.
Yep. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think the stats back that up too, that it's easier for them to do that. They're just essentially staying up later or whatever. Although the only thing that would kind of offset that would be like a West Coast team going east, and then they're playing the Sunday night football game. So then it's like almost, like a 2:00 game for them or something. So I don't know. Yeah, that should be
Chargers. I'll take Bengals.
Yeah, we got a couple differences
The
here.
Bengals are the public team. They're the underdog. All right.
Yeah, I believe that's true. Let's check out the money quick. Just take a peek. Whoops. Here we go.
Definitely not confident in that. It's my least confident.
That would be my least confident pick. Bengals are the public
scenarios for this game.
Public as public can be. 75% of the money. And even on the spread's worse. On the spread, they make up 86% of the bets and take 86% of the money. Jesus. No one is giving. I
certainly guess the Bengals to be the public team.
Yep. No one is giving them a fucking.
Definitely not saying bet the Bengals.
Yeah. They actually got, and more interesting thing is the over-under. What do you think is favored here? In terms of money percent.
I never look at the totals like that. I feel like public, probably the over.
Yep. 50 makes up essentially 57% of the bets, 71% of the money.
Yeah, I don't think the totals are ever lopsided like that.
Not generally.
I feel like they'll just move and it'll change it. When you try to get the key numbers and all that type of shit.
Yeah. So
people really dial into totals.
Essentially, everyone.
Of course, you see like 3 times a week that the total does matter, whatever number you do get.
Bengals
rush team is approved.
Yeah.
As of late.
That's a good point. Great point. But public's all over Cincinnati. Give them the win already. Just put it in the column.
I mean, the more you say, the more I like the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think that having Dobbins and Edwards back, I feel like they can work well together. Didn't quite work out with Vidal. He was a healthy scratch last week. I was disappointed about that, but
yeah. Well, like I said, it'd be a good game to watch, I think, regardless.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the Monday.
It'll be a close finish no matter what.
Yeah.
Always because they're close finishes.
The Monday night game, Texans and the Cowboys.
I fucking love this game.
Oh, me too. Fuck.
Yeah, Texans money line in that one play. Nico Collins, I got Cooper Rush under passing yards.
Let's just take a look. They don't even have their shit up yet. They
They
got
don't have
passing
them yet.
yards. Cooper Rush.
Oh, 179.5.
We got him at 183.
187.5.
87. Okay. That was 83.
I can't believe he's starting over Trey Lance.
I think. So
here's
the thing.
I feel like I should get more on that because I feel like there's at least an 80% chance.
That should have been a 3-unit play. That should have been a 3-unit play.
Should have been now that I think about it.
Because here's what's going to happen.
Chance to see Trey Lance at some point.
Here's what's going to happen, in my opinion. 2 things. 1, Cooper Rush is going to come out, and he's going to either look like shit, and they're going to be like, okay, we're giving you one more series. And he's going to do the same thing, and then they're going to put in Trey Lance. Or they may already have it predetermined that he's only getting so many, like, hey, we want Trey to see if, you're going to get 2 series, then we're going to put in Trey. You don't really see that very often in the NFL. That's very much a college thing where, like, when a guy has struggled, that they'll try and, like, you get 2 series, and then we're going to give this other guy 2 series, and then they kind of make the decision sort of thing. But the thing is, even if you take off 2 series could really fuck your yards in a long, in a big way, especially if Trey Lance comes in those 2 series, drives down the field, scores a touchdown, right? So Cooper Rush should have been a 2-unit play minimum, and we didn't do it. That was a fuck up. Looking back, that was a fuck up. Nico, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. I made Nico a 2-unit play. What the fuck was 68.5? What was that?
The reason why I feel like that's so low is because I feel like the Texans blow them out. Like, I cannot wait to watch this game. That actually might be my favorite game of the week to watch.
They probably do, but the thing is, he's gonna have like a fucking 60-yard bomb.
That's the thing. He's probably still gonna have a 60-yard bomb if he hooks at 68.
Oh my! Imagine if you like fucking. I'm not even saying
3 catches for 66 yards. Doesn't catch a single pass in the second half.
Just put me in the dirt if that happens. I swear to God, just put me in the dirt.
I still see 182 for Cooper Rush. I might bet it again, actually.
182?
182. I think that's the highest line now. I might just bet it again.
Where's that?
MGM.
Okay.
179 FanDuel. You got it. But yeah, it seems like 180.5.
Is he already dropped down on Bet365?
Yeah, I think he was 181. So
yeah,
then again, I don't know if the number matters because I feel like we absolutely see 80% chance to see Trey Lance. I would say absolutely, but
I
can't believe that. They put him on 365. Not even on there.
I don't
understand. They're starting him over Trey Lance.
I don't understand how they're doing that. I don't. And
this probably is his last start, but
that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
It's not even his last start because they want to be. I love Jerry Jones, man. He cannot be proven wrong. Jerry Jones is never wrong. So maybe they do to start Cooper Rush.
When you see something like this, it just 100% tells me he's got such a short leash. 2 drives maybe 2. And if he doesn't like go down and score a touchdown in those 2 drives, he's out.
I might just bet this again.
Jesus, here's a more telling.
That actually should have been a 2-unit play.
Here's maybe a more telling one. Maybe take this for what you think. Is ESPN Bet has Cooper Rush at 174.
Well, I mean, that number's just going to keep going down.
Yeah.
That's why I should have bet 2 units on that. But then again, the number likely would not matter.
You can still grab Nico Collins FYI at 69.5. Nice. On ESPN Bet. It is juice.
He doesn't hit it because the game's a blowout.
Yeah.
And I have Cooper Rush under passing yards and got Texans money line, so I should be good no matter what in this game.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this game. I'm gonna have more plays in this game. I definitely need a SGP for this one.
Yeah. Again, we always wait. We always wait for the boost thing. Yeah, I don't know. I saw Cooper Rush when you put it out there, and I almost bet 2 units there on it because I just like that's wrong.
He's not throwing for 180 yards. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
No.
What scenario is it that he passes for 188?
I probably should have made him a 2-unit play, and I did make Nico a 2-unit play because again, I don't care that it's going to be a blowout. I have a hard time seeing him not get 90, so we'll see. But
yeah, do I want to bet another unit on Cooper Rush?
I don't see how he goes for any of
6
that.
plays for Sunday. Yeah, I got 6 for Sunday and then 2 for Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, I might as well bet another unit on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely should have bet 2 units on that at 187.5.
Silly.
Do they have a Trey Lance touchdown prop? Why are they not starting Trey Lance? It's just that's mind blowing.
Do they have him? Oops, not TD. Well, he's not passing, so
yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna bless them.
Yeah, I guess
rushing touchdown.
Let me see if you can find anything on Pickett.
Well, that might be just a live betting spot because they might actually post his yards live.
I don't see anything Trey Lance.
See Super Rush get benched. We might see live lines because I have seen that before with backups.
Yeah, you can. So, like you said, you can get minus, or God, what am I trying to say? 182 on BetMGM for minus 115. If you had some of these weird, obscure books, what is this one called? I don't even know. Betway, maybe?
Yeah, maybe if you had a weird ass book.
Yeah, that's 183. Or what is this one? Bet Rivers. If you had Bet Rivers, it's 183 too.
I do have Bet Rivers. It's the worst app. So yeah, Cooper Rush under passing yards. Nico Collins over receiving yards.
I wouldn't call anything a lock, but fuck me.
Cooper Rush under passing yards. What am I not doing? Just unload the account on that one responsibly.
Yeah.
If he throws for 180 yards, I mean,
I'll take the L on that one. I will bet that under all goddamn day. All right, let's go.
Terry McLaurin last night. I know I should have bet more than that, more than just a unit. That should have been a 2-unit play at least.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go over. I've been wanting to do this more as we kind of go through the games and talk. Let's go over what your plays are, just to kind of recap.
We've been on here for an hour and a half. We've been rambling a little bit.
Yeah.
So like I said, I got 6 for Sunday. Carries over to Monday. Lions, Bears, Texans money line. Hopefully that's free. Josh Jacobs over rushing yards. I got 65.5. So CLB there. NFL Young Boy over 66.5 receiving yards. George Pickens. I got that Browns builder with Jameis 200 and Nick Chubb 40+. The Colts SGP with Anthony Richardson 25+ rushing and Jonathan Taylor 60+ rushing. And Gus Edwards over rushing yards. Sunday Night Football. And the 2 Monday night plays we just talked about. So I got 8 plays for now. I might have a couple more. Then I can work on the parlays. We got the live betting spots. We can talk about the live betting spots.
Yes. Go ahead and add them in.
We talked about the Lions unders. St. Brown, Gibbs, Montgomery. Maybe take your pick, depending on how the game goes.
I would say take Gibbs off that list. It's Montgomery or St. Brown.
Probably St. Brown. I'll lean St. Brown.
Yeah, agreed.
And Braylon Allen for the Jets.
Yep.
You like his regular line at 22.5, but
yes,
I feel like you can definitely get a little bit of a discount live.
Yep, I agree. So I went ahead and locked it in because why not? So, okay. My card so far is I took Braylon Allen over 22.5 rush yards. I took J.K. Dobbins over 12.5 rush attempts. I'm going to look to live bet Purdy rush live. His current line is I need to write that down. I've been meaning to do that. Is 16.5. I am going to try and get it at roughly 10.5. But mostly I'm going to look after the first quarter to try and take something there. So that's the spot. I haven't put it together yet, but I am going to have a 3-team quote-unquote teaser, which I do every week. It's going to include the Colts, the Browns, and it's it's either going to be the Patriots or the Steelers. I'm not sure yet. That the third leg is probably my least confident. Maybe it's just the Titans. I don't know. That line it sticks out to me. Why the hell is it 5.5?
That's why I'm staying away.
I think you're right. It's probably a stay away spot.
It might be that simple, but Vikings should win that by at least 10 points. But
they should blow them to shit.
They could win it by 31 points, but that's just a weird game to me.
I'm leaning Patriots. Browns, Colts.
I mean, definitely like the Colts.
Yes.
Like the Browns too.
Yep. So, and then if I did a late teaser, it would be probably just 49ers money line, maybe Bills plus something, and then probably the Chargers plus something. So that would kind of get me to 5 or 6 plays, including the Purdy one. I am going to chase. I like Chase's Drake rush yards there. May rush yards. I need to do a little digging on that.
Like Drake May.
Yeah. So if I don't take him straight, I'm going to put him in some type of, 2-leg thing, like probably Drake May 25 yards rush and somebody else for something. So, and then obviously the live spots we talked about with the Lions. So pretty good card, I think.
Yeah. For a pretty below average slate.
Yep.
We got a few games Sunday, but other than those 2 Bills and Chiefs and the Ravens Steelers, not the best Sunday ever.
Maybe 4 good games.
Not the best games on Sunday.
Yeah.
Bengals Chargers hopefully Sunday night, but like 3 good games on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, there could be some close games, maybe not good games. Falcons, Broncos.
Yeah, I guess it depends on if you think a close game is a good game, right?
Yeah, not the same thing necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we like that Colts and Jets game. We like the gross games.
I fucking love them. The more you look into these teams and what's going on with them, there's so many good spots
more
there.
Opportunities.
Yep, more opportunities. Oh, the other leg that I made in that late window for a teaser that I think both you and I like there is the Broncos.
Oh yeah, I like the Broncos.
Yeah, I may take Broncos, Bills, Chargers rather than adding the 49ers in there. I mean, I think the 49ers win, but I don't know. It's just, what if the team dies again? So, all right, everyone. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed. We love doing this. Hopefully everyone gets good value. Thanks, Chase, for making comments. I wish more people made some comments that we could kind of address. I think that's great interaction there. Hopefully you like the new intro video. I need to tweak it a bit more because, again, I did it on Instagram, so it didn't really turn out like it didn't fill the screen up here like I thought it was going to. But if you didn't see it, if you didn't see it, obviously when we end the stream, you'll be able to watch it again. So, again, thanks everyone.
Yeah, it's productive for us to do this. Hopefully it's entertaining for people.
Yep.
We like the comments. We love hearing that people have been watching, and hopefully we can cash this weekend.
Yep. All right.
Good weeks in a row.
Let's have a great weekend, everyone. We'll catch you on Tuesday.
Thanks.
Yep. Thanks.